Welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. My name is Norman, also known as King Julian. So we are back for part 3. Now, I did not film cutting the 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch square stock. I was on the phone with my son, and that's how I was doing that while I was talking to him, so I didn't get a chance to film it. But here we are. So here is the nice little block of wood that's fixing to get reshaped. Now, I did sand the edges right here to get it clean. Got it as flush as possible right here. I mean, it's as close to being squared as you can get, considering the fact I did this by hand. In fact, there's my machinist square, and barely off right there on that end, dead on this end. So, slight little gap, but nothing noticeable on that end. Kind of really sucks. I might have to do some reworking on that, but we'll get there. So yes, definitely kind of excited to see this, because once this is on and this is reshaped, there you go. Be just like that, and your trucks will be right here on these bolsters. And it's going to be a low-slowing fuel tank, so it will have, a little bit of clearance between the rails. So this is not going to be one of these locomotives you're going to be able to run across the rails and go, oh look, there's a bump in the road. Yeah, nope, you're going to get high centered on that. So let me see if we can kind of fix that maybe just a little bit on that end. So I'll tell you what are we going to do? I've already got the dremel set up. So how about I bring y'all down to what I'm doing so y'all can see this, because I really don't want a whole lot of dust inside my truck, because last time I did this inside my truck, oh my God, I think I cleaned up sanding dust for weeks. Maybe even months. I don't know. But it was a lot. And in case y'all are wondering, yes, this is my every 24-hour coffee cup. That's a lot of coffee. It's only about 64, 74 ounces. Something like that, 64, 74 ounces. I don't know. I know I like my coffee. And I quit buying the coffee inside the truck stops because, well, it just wasn't strong enough. My caffeine intake has gotten higher over the years of driving a truck. Not too sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. In case you're wondering about the window right there, that's Loki. He likes to stick his nose right up against it. And he's looking at me back there right now like, are you talking about me again? Which probably means he's going to pounce on me later. So let me bring y'all down this way so y'all can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to try to get y'all set up as best I can without y'all being too much in the way, okay? Not really in the way, but without knocking the camera over. I feel sprinkles. That'll work. doing my little experiment on these sanding wheels right here. They work out great until you get them going too high, and then, well, yeah, they're going to fly off. But what I did was I used a couple of the polishing discs, put this over it, and they fit in there real nice and snug. So it's kind of an experiment to see if it worked, because I got tired of this thing always moving around. So far, it's worked out pretty good till just now. I think I've done figured out something on that. Alright, so normally when I'm doing stuff like this, I have like a lot of different tools with me, which, hey, I didn't say much, which I don't on this particular instance. So we're going back to some old school methods. Now, as you can see, yes, I have shaped it the best I can right now because I need a sanding block, which means I have to create one again. No big deal because the original's at the house. Oddly enough, I still use that one. But let me show you something. So this right here is, like I said, a little polishing wheel right here. Keeps coming off. Popped off on me outside. But I have a plan to fix that one too. So these nice little polishing wheels right here, these little minis, or as I like to call it, the mini ones, we are going to create a way to hold, a sanding disc a lot better, or I should say sanding pad. So these are the sanding wheels. And this is a Hart set. Hart is made by Milwaukee Tools. So don't be alarmed. But right now, give me 1 second here, because we're going to do, well, I guess we're going to wind up manufacturing a tool. So we'll take this. It's already on there. We're going to take super glue. We need glasses. Yes, I know, at 47, I'm having to wear readers. Oh God, I'm going to have to clean my window again. Happens as we get older. you got a local tool store that sells Dremel, you can still get these pads right here individually. So if you decide to make one of these, you can for a very cheap price. Well, it wasn't exactly called. Yeah, I guess it would be cheap. Probably better than the metal one. Hi, Loki. So this right now is, this Gorilla Glue actually holds in there really nice with this felt. You can just take it. Slide your sandpaper disc up over it. There you go. Now, with the excess glue being up on there, this being a little tighter, it's going to wind up securing everything together. But the metal round disc or the rubber disc they always gave, I never could get them to stay. They always kept moving. This was an experiment, and it worked out nice. Very nice. Alright, so let's finish this up real quick. Since we also just manufactured that. Well, not really manufactured, but, you know, made an adaptation. Alright. Now, I apologize about that. I didn't take y'all down there with me, but I just was doing a quick trim up on it. Glue. And you know, oddly enough, it actually seemed like it was a little firmer this time with that on there. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. So as we bring it down here, I need to, of course, make my little thing down here so I can see what's going on. In 1 second here. Alright, well, hopefully that'll work. It's good. This is really weird. I'm like reliving the old days right now. It's kind of cool. Okay, so we got a 5-inch block of wood. That's actually going to be now the fuel tank. So there's 6. Got 6.5. So we got 6.5 right there. So So we are literally 3/4 on each side right here between the wheels. I'm just going to mark this. Alright. Yeah, for as much as Gorilla Glue charges for those little bottles, right, they sure don't put much of anything in here. Well, we know what we're doing. We sure do. We're not to rip the American people off, or people around the world, actually. Alright, so now we are setting this in place. Even with this being in place right now, okay, with the wood and everything, which is fine, I can still come in if I want to, use a sanding block, come across here, kind of bring this up even, which you really can't really notice it too much, may not mess with it, but even right over here. Right there, each end. So this is now, you know, I've been really thinking about adding some piping to it, but I mean, this is not a powered diesel unit. It's not a traction unit. This is strictly auxiliary power unit for passenger cars. That's all this I rebuilt this car to do. So there you go. Now, once this glue is dry, then I'll flip it over and y'all will be able to see it. I'll do a short with it. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing this actually done. Not just because of the fact that it was something I was working with, but because of the package that's sitting in Wisconsin right now at my office. It kind of goes hand in hand with this one. So, if you've been watching the channel, some of y'all might have a general idea of what I'm talking about. And there might be some others going, oh God, was he done this time? Oh no, was he done? Yeah, no. Nothing bad. But, overall, I'm happy with how this is turning out. I will still have to paint the bottom of it. I will have to go look in my toolbox, in the side box of my truck, to see if I brought the screws. If I didn't, that means I'll need to stop somewhere, maybe like an Ace Hardware or some type of hardware store, to pick up some number 6. It's either 4, 6, or 8 screw numbers. But anyways, they'll fit right in those Atlas, and I'll be able to draw a small pilot hole in on here, and the trucks will be set, and this will be ready to go on the rails. I'm happy with that I did not have to glue the top to this, because this does leave room for playing around with it if I need to, or if I need to get in here later on. Even if if I say I find a powered bottom, I can pop this top off, screw it back on, and be done. Other things I'll have to do to it, I'll need to add steps to it. So I will have to hand make the steps, and I have a way to do that as well. But we'll get into that in another video after this. So as always, keep the shiny side up, rubber down. I'll see you on the next video a little bit later. Maybe do one mounting the trucks. And maybe I might pre-make the stirrups on here as well to go for each side, which there's only 4 that has to be made. I don't recall a B unit having a type of ladders, especially on these sharp nose, these Alcos. I don't know. We will see. But again, as always, keep the shiny side rubber down. See you in the next video, and we'll do part. What is this now? 3 we're at right now. We'll do another part 4, finishing it up, adding the trucks on it before paint, and whatever else we're going to do. I will see y'all then. Loki and I will both see you then. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Take it easy.